a normal enemy would basically have died. Alright. And then blam. And then... Well, I recently did a Plunge Eula video, but I owe it to Eula, and I suppose all the Eula players out there, to try to do, you know, a normal Eula play style, where, you know, you try to do normal attack combos and get some big old damage on her burst. But instead today, I'm going to do probably the most unrelatable Eula team possible. It's a very, very high investment thing to do, is all I'm adding the disclaimer for, and not necessarily going to be worth doing, but... Anyway, this is an unrelatable Eula video, okay? I haven't played with it very much, but I like the idea of it on paper a lot because there's a properly, utterly, horrifyingly disgusting amount of synergy that's going on that I really, really like. So, anywho's, the first thing I need to talk about, the general dissatisfaction that I have with, like, the state of most, like, normal Eula teams. So this is an example Eula team, right, where you'd use Raiden to trigger Superconduct, as well as, you know, refund a little bit of energy for Eula, which is good. And then Brazaria can be a cryo battery, as well as a crit rate buffer, and have some off-field damage of her own. So, you know, hey, good, you know, so 2 units that buff Eula, and then, hey, you got Mika, and Mika is a healer for the team, and then also buffs Eula a little bit. So, on paper, this team is, you know, like a typical Eula team template, wherein, you know, you spec in all the teammates to have good synergy with Eula, right? The problem is, like, the way that Rosaria can do a lot of damage is not in a physical damage team. Mika doesn't do damage ever. And then Raiden, same thing as like Rosaria. You don't have the traditional things to make Raiden do a lot of damage in this team. So, oftentimes... you will see Eula players end up just putting 4-piece tenacity of the Millilith on Raiden to buff Eula more. But nonetheless, today we are using Raiden. And for Eula, Raiden in this team is going to do the same exact things that she always does, which is, you know, superconduct and energy refunding, which is really quite important for Eula because she's an energy-hungry lady. Raiden, though, we're gonna make deal damage. How exactly will make sense later, and there's gonna be some people are gonna be mad at this, and I can't wait. The idea for this came to me from KQM. I was mostly reading through KQM for like a normal rotation guide thing, just because Eula is if you want to get the big number out of Eula's burst, you really want to like do an ideal rotation. And this is like where Eula's main mechanical issues are. But anywho's, right? So I wanted to, you know, look up what the optimal combos are without just feeling it out myself. Usually for my videos, I just feel out things, but Eula is a different case. And anyways, as I was reading through KQM's article, you know, I got down to the teammates section, and I saw Nahida listed here, and then they mentioned, despite being a subpar option before Constellation 2, I have Constellation 2. C2 Nahida does 30% defense reduction when you're triggering Quicken, Aggravate, and Spread. And of course, since we're already pairing Raiden with Eula, Raiden will trigger Aggravate or Quicken, which is going to trigger the defense reduction, which is going to buff Eula. So now you can see where the unrelatableness comes in, right? But trust me, it doesn't end there. What we're doing today is not Hybrid Bloom Eula. I know it might seem like it, particularly with the next character that's obvious, because, hey, we've got Dendro, we've got Raiden, the Electro character that's used a lot for this anyways. The last character is, of course, Furina. Now, before you get mad, hear me out here. Furina, of course, gives a whole bunch of damage bonus. And here's the unrelatable part. What we're doing with this is basically C2 Furina in conjunction with Nahida. Nahida is a catalyst user. She can hold Prototype Amber. Prototype Amber heals enough every rotation to get max damage bonus, which is 100% every single rotation. At the downside, and this is a very big downside to this team, a very big one, this is by far the biggest downside, is it's more fragile. But, you know, Nahida with Prototype Amber is enough healing with Furina C2 to get max damage bonus. So on paper, right, we have the template, we have the same template here, where, hey, Raiden is used to buff Eula, Rosaria is used to buff Eula, Mika is used to buff Eula. We got the same thing here, just way more unrelatable. And the thing is, the unrelatableness doesn't stop. If you're familiar with my channel, you're probably already aware of where this is heading. I want to finish the Eula synergies, right? Because the Eula synergies are just really satisfying, right? So to list off all the synergies in one big go here. Raiden is energy refunding and superconduct. Nahida, of course, is providing the defense shred. Like, that's a very big damage increase. And of course, Furina C2 or Furina C1, I should say, and Furina's base kit is about 100% damage bonus in conjunction with turning Nahida into a healer with Prototype Amber. And I'm not doing any boring old Golden Troop build. I'm doing Tenacity on Furina because we need more attack. Of course we do. Also, I haven't actually tried this yet. To properly make this team less Dendro damage focused, and this, again, is something you should not do as far as like a damage optimization level, but I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to put Maidens on Nahida. But there you go, a 4-piece Maidens on Nahida. That's basically going to give her 170% healing bonus, which does multiply the healing that you get from Prototype Amber. And then Furina gives a little bit of healing bonus as well. So functionally, we're getting like, you know, a ×2 healing from Prototype Amber, which should meaningfully help. At the cost, of course, of sacrificing quite a lot of our Dendro damage from Nahida herself and the Hyper Blooms that Raiden procs. But Raiden's build is actually not a Hyper Bloom build. It's not a Tenacity build either, because we already have a character on Tenacity. She's perfect for it. This is something I've made a video on in the past. I'm not going to go super in-depth on, but we're using a seemingly traditional Raiden build on Emblem on Staff of Scarlet Sands with my hybrid Raiden build because we're doing Aggravates and Hyper Blooms. This is a really weird build that uses the Staff of Scarlet Sands attack conversion, EM to attack conversion, to be able to have a high amount of attack on Raiden, even though I have, you know, 400 and some elemental mastery built on her. So this will enable Raiden to get very significant off-field aggravate damage on top of the little bit of Hyper Bloom damage, even though we've nerfed it significantly, but will also maintain her getting really big burst damage. So in this team, just as Nahida is buffing Eula's damage and Furina is buffing Eula's damage, these two characters are also buffing Raiden's damage. And you have a dynamic of basically doing damage with Eula and then switching to Raiden to do her damage and still getting like good Raiden levels of damage out of her. Anyone who thinks this is a Hyper Bloom team and this is not just a Hyper Bloom team, you will see most of the damage just not come from the Hyper Blooms. I genuinely think this is going to be one of the strongest teams on my account and might be the strongest team that I've ever played. Not that it won't have downsides. You'll probably see the downsides in this video. Oh yeah, and Eula's build, if you care, this is her overall build. I put a whole lot of ER on her. Alrighty, so we're gonna test a couple things in Overworld here. First, we're gonna murder the Dorito, and I think this thing is gonna die before Eula's burst. Definitely didn't have to cut the previous attempt because I'm terrible. Can we get Fab Trigger? Yes, go. Alright, do that, yes. Alright, do Eula, and Blam. 2, do a hold, and it's gonna die. Yep, this is what happens when you fight enemies that are too squishy. So we didn't even get to see the big Eula damage there, but you saw how the team, you know, damage engine worked. And normally what I would do ideally there is after doing E into Q, I do 1, 2, 3, 4 normal attacks, and then I do her hold skill, and then I do 1, 2, 3, 4 more, and then I would quickly switch to Raiden and do her burst. And then you can use Raiden to finish it off, is generally how it goes against tankier enemies, but tanky enemies, you know, in Abyss don't last very long against this team. Alright, let's see if I can handle Liam here. Liam, I have a bad track record with Liam. He really likes to kill me. But I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Okay. I can't see anything right now. It's fine. 2, 3, 4, do a hold. We're definitely not gonna die. Blam, nice 400k, and Raiden burst, get 100k on Raiden. I'm almost dead because that's how Liam do. Alright, I'm gonna do this to start healing up. A lot of times what you have to do in this team, as just a prerequisite, is you just need to use another Nahida burst, or let's fumble over my words because I'm distracted by Liam. You need to switch between, I've stopped attacking him, I'm sorry. You need to switch between Furina's hold skill occasionally to, you know, when you take damage. Whether it be because you have a skill issue or because you're facing a black hole of an enemy that's basically impossible to dodge. You know, you need the healing. Do that. Oh my god. Stop! He always manages to kill someone. I hate this dude. No. Okay. Well, that was at least one good sequence. That's what I can say. And he didn't kill Eula. That's good. something to keep in mind with the damage you saw from Liam over there was, you know, we got him to 75 or 25% health, right, in one rotation, and that's really strong. The long and short is these local legends are very tanky. That's all you really need to know, and that's important to keep in mind. That like a normal enemy would basically have died. All right, do, and then blam, and then you, and then Rocky's of course doing what Rocky does, and he's dodging all attacks. Also, Eula's almost dead. Oh, everyone's almost dead. Okay, oh. See, this is what I'm talking about with annoying. No, annoying enemies require playing a little bit more defensively. Not that it helped me there. Do that. Do that. Do this. No, stop. Stop, would you apps? So, anyways, let's go try to fight this lady. God, I need to refill my energy. Yay. Oh, sorry, bird. Eula's energy is the #1 thing I really wish they hadn't done for her kit. Like, Eula's a really interesting character, honestly. She has a lot of problems by nature of her backloaded damage and by problems of, you know, not having the greatest options for, you know, making physical damage good. She has issues in awkwardness of, like, getting her damage, her backloaded damage, getting that requires, you know, executing a full combo. And so often nowadays, they're releasing enemies that are just, you know, like what that enemy was just doing, where it's moving all over the friggin' place. You can't, like, hit optimal combos on it, right? Or the previous Abyss cycle wherein we had the mechanical worm and Weenot. Like, have fun trying to time your whole Eula combo against the Weenot, right? You know, and these are things that anyone who has played Eula is probably well aware of by now, of course. I just mentioned them because it's one of the those are the things that, even though Eula's damage output can be decent, the ways in which you get that damage output are really awkward. And I think the #1 thing holding her back is just her energy needs. Like, it restricts her traditional team compositions quite a lot. Like, that's the worst thing about doing this team is, I think Eula's energy needs, realistically, I probably want a good 10-20% more. So, you know what, actually, just let's test out her on that build. So that's, we lose a little bit of crit, which isn't that big of a deal. We gain about 10% more ER. We lose about 120 attack, which, let's see what we can get against this lady. Alright. That, I don't know why I did that first. That was just, oh, switch modes. Okay, do this. I missed, oh my god, this. Okay, well, we gotta waste time on Nahi to then do that again. Alright, there we go. Got her marked. I don't know why I did that. You saw it moving around. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do hold skill, get the resistance shred. You're up in the air. Alright, that was not great in my opinion, but, well, especially not great when I die. Have you noticed the fragility problem? To be clear, these enemies hit a lot harder than even Abyss enemies do. But, but, you know, the damage is there. We've been able to see the damage. Like I said, the team is strong. It isn't a perfect team. If I had managed to get a full Raiden combo off of her, I think Eula would have definitely gotten her burst back in time without a problem there. So maybe we'll stick with this lower energy amount there. Oh, Nahida died off field too? What in the world? When did that happen? Okay, well, I'm just gonna slog through this then. Whatever. Ow! Stop it. Oh my god, you killed Eula too. All right. Well, every one of the freaking local legends kind of kicked my butt after I tried to kick their butt. But hey, you saw the damage. Like, every time in one rotation, we got to, I think, half health or more on every one of those buttholes. So, yeah, let's go to the Abyss here. Now, we're going to do both sides of the Abyss here because both the first side and the second side are interesting at showing the upsides and downsides of Eula. So I think it's worth doing both of them. Okay, so here's the chicken. He's probably the most ideal enemy for this team as far as showing Eula's performance here. Let's go. Alright, we did get a crit rate, crit damage card in the first chamber. Alright, do that. As long as he doesn't run away, we should be fine. Alright, do that. Blam, nice 300k, and then we use Raiden basically to finish it off. I can tell you, if Nahida was not on her healing build there, this thing would have died in that first rotation there, right? So, there we go. And now with the second side here, we should be able to see some of the bigger issues with the team. Let's just do that. Alright, and let's do that. And of course, the issue here is this thing has a ton of physical resistance, but let's try to get the full combo. Blam. And we saw still a big bit of damage there. And right, we get it down. And of course, it's wasting our time. So we're gonna do this, heal up our character a little bit in the downtime. I don't even know where the one I need to attack is. Hopefully it's right here. Oh, it's over there. Oh, frickles. Crap. Oh no, okay, I'm gonna redo this chamber. That was terrible. That was terrible. Alright, let's pay slightly more attention this time and hopefully take slightly less damage at the same time. Alright. Oh, yep, that's what I mean by taking slightly less damage. Okay. Oh, come on. Yep, this boss is all the worst case scenarios for Eula, basically. Oh boy. Alright, I should have switched to Raiden slightly sooner than that there. It was a little bit non-ideal, but that's fine. Okay, of course. I'm definitely noticing against this boss, much more so than the chicken, the difference of not having Nahida on Deepwood. Realistically, it would have been stronger for team damage if I wanted to have Nahida on Maidens to put Farina on Deepwood, instead of on Tenacity. But who the heck does that when you're trying to play maximize damage Eula? No, I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. Alright, let's see if we can kill this before Eula's burst pops off. Alright, there we go. I didn't crit! No, I refuse. I needed to see the crit there. I refuse to not see a Eula crit on the ending phase of this boss. That is unacceptable. Oh, I was really trying to iframe that. No, it's Burst is gonna miss it. Okay. See, this boss is, like I said, is the worst case scenario for Eula. Ah, it's so annoying. Okay, we should just use Raiden here. Mark everything. Do this. It's so dumb. Oh my goodness. Alright. Make sure this dies. Alright, good. Do this. Yeah! Yes. There we go. Okay, that feels good. See, this is a Eula team, right? Like, that I think was probably the best proof of the fact that, like, I removed Deepwood to remove a lot of the Dendro damage, to put more of the focus on Eula here. Even though it is better to still focus on some of the Dendro damage with Deepwood on Nahida. And you were able to see, Eula still has a lot of damage. Even against a physical immune enemy, or not immune, sorry, physical resistant. And blam, it didn't crit again. Oh my god, are you serious? Oh, because Farina wasn't going. Whoops. Okay, let's make sure to get Eula's energy back this time. I need to switch modes, do this. Alright, let's see if it gets its shield back before I do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, that. Yeah, it got its shield back. See, this is exactly the problem. It's like, it gets its shield back right before you, oh man, stop it. What we're gonna do instead is we're just gonna do the smart thing, and this is gonna be something that shows the advantage of this team. The advantage of having the ability to have Raiden deal meaningful damage at the same time as having Raiden deal meaningful damage is that you could, you know, use Raiden in situations more when it makes more sense to. Oh god, let's not die though. Alright, we're just gonna pre-set up here. Deal with the shield, because she is so best at dealing with the shield. Alright. Let's get the kill with Eula at least. No. The burst didn't even deal damage. I saw the burst land, but it didn't deal damage because... Oh, Raiden died too. Well, that's fine. We got 3 stars. Everyone's dead. Those are just like Eula downsides there, but it's also like showing the upsides of this team. The fact that it can still deal with these situations. Alright. Hopefully these things we can at least one rotate. I mean, well, I think we definitely should all do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Alright, didn't hit the 1. That was probably my bad. I should have positioned better there. It's fine. Try to finish it off with Raiden. Maybe not quite. We would have finished it off with Raiden if we had Deepwood again on. Alright, die please. I don't wanna have to. There we go. Okay. Okay, they're getting stuck in the air, so I'm not dealing with it. Yeah, okay. I couldn't get much stacks on them because they're being stuck in the air like buttholes. So yeah, that at the very least shows, you know, the generalized issues, I would say, with Eula. Okay, these guys are real buttholes, by the way, with... I didn't get the... whatever. Alright, there we go. That worked better, Alright, you got 100k there. And you're dead. Okay. That worked better. Alright, let's see if we can actually execute a combo on them. Nice. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. And then we use Raiden to finish them off. There we go. Let's go. That was one among the fastest places I've ever done in that chamber. Oh, I just noticed this chamber has a healing effect on this card. You know what? I'm going to take that because, yeah, our character's HP is a little bit rough. In fact, I'm going to start with that too. Alright. That. Alright, now let's switch back to this. That. Alright, now let's execute a Eula. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's gonna die. Okay, everything's just dead before Eula's burst even dropped. That's just one of those circumstances of showing, you know, the downside of backloaded damage, right? Oh, wow. The downside of backloaded damage is that situations like that happen. But let's see if we can do a properly full sequence here. Target the archer. Alright. That. 1, 2, 3, 4. That. Oh, the waves of crap on the ground are scary. But hey, it almost killed everything, so, you know. We use Raiden and finish off. Easy. Alright, and we're gonna chill out for a second against Coppelius here because of the same exact reason. We just need to heal. Ow. You can see how much healing, by the way, we just got from Prototype Amber. Quite a lot. Alright, and now we can do this. Alright, let's see if we can survive the onslaught from these bubbles. Take some good play here. Lamb, nice 300k. Honestly, ideal though. I didn't have freeness pop up. Okay, yeah. That's what I get for playing things a little bit slowly, that's fine. And because I didn't get a full Raiden sequence out, I didn't get Eula's burst. Okay, I'm gonna redo this chamber because also I just I bungled up all the things here. I want to see some proper damage there, but still, that was 2 actual rotations, right? Something I'm realizing in my trials here is that to maintain Furina uptime for Raiden, I think I should actually not start a rotation with Furina. Alright, we're on attempt like number 10 of me trying to like execute a proper combo on this thing, but it's basically just impossible. It deals too much damage, is the long and short of it. I can start at one... I didn't do this. I can just, you know, leave Furina's healing open, right? And that helps survive, obviously, but it doesn't really help with the general issue at hand, I would say. The team can still deal with this no problem, right? It still has enough ways to deal damage, and it has enough survivability to be able to deal with this problem. It just doesn't have it in a way that lets me satisfyingly execute a Eula combo, is what I would describe it as. Let's see if we can try it again here to finish it off. Nice. I think that was like 360k. All in all, I think you get the point, right? This team is very strong in the ways that it can deal damage, and I really, really enjoy all the layers of synergy that this team has, resulting in getting a lot of Eula damage, but it still has typical Eula problems of not being able to easily, satisfyingly get the damage out of that backloaded damage out of her when you're dealing with enemies that, you know, hit you a lot and push you away, etc., etc. This is a perfect abyss for showing how awkward Eula can be. This team is still actually really good. Like, I was able to first try clear everything other than the fact that I retried things because I wanted to get a more satisfying, like, Eula combo off, right? That's all that really happened there. For comparison, we're going to have Nahida back on Deepwood here. I'm going to go fight the chicken one more time. The chicken is still, you know, Dendro resistant. So it's going to take a lot less Dendro damage, but you're still going to probably see it clear in one rotation easily versus before we did not quite clear in one rotation. Okay, let's do that. Do that. I don't know why I did. What am I doing? Whatever, it's fine. Alright, chicken. As long as it doesn't run away. Blam, 1, 2, 4. We'll get some extra normal attacks. Blam, nice 300k, and then let's kill it right in. See? Told you, one rotation. Even though the thing's Dendro resistant, if you remove the constellations, the more this team becomes more just Eula Hyperbloom rather than actual high synergy Eula teams. Not that Eula Hyperbloom is bad, it's just not the most satisfying